guys, thanks for stopping back by the channel and checking out another episode of Hi-Ho Silver. This is a hole hunt, so you're going to see all the trash, all the treasure, all the fun, all the mistakes I make. Let's go see what we found. Okay guys, here we are at a beautiful, beautiful 1929 permission. And sure would like to find something shiny today. It's about 50 degrees out and a little bit cloudy. So anyway, we're gonna see what we can find. Start by doing the noise cancellation on my detector here. Let's swing speed 10, volume 2, 60 tones, and we'll set it up to where I can hear it in my headset and out here. So let's see what we might be able to conjure up today. A little brisker out here than I like for sure. I'm at 15 kilohertz on my, get my camera set up a little bit better here. On 15 kilohertz on my frequency. Don't seem to be having any EMI issues. There's a lot of junk here, so I say junk if you hear that same tone going over and over again. Could be a couple of different things, but it's definitely not what I'm looking for. It's probably a could be a low voltage line, could be a little something on the surface here. Sounds like it's going to be a pull tab, but anyway, that could have been a water pipe. In this area, there's a lot of gas lines that ran in the. It's right on top. There's a lot of gas lines that ran out to lamps in folks' yards. You know, not night light types things. And boy, the detector will pick up that old copper gas line for sure. But anyway, whatever it is, I know I don't want to dig it. That's another reason why you don't want to just dig every signal. You know, as soon as you swing over something, you go dig it, because could be a legitimate reason not to. And sometimes what will happen for me, I think we might have a spill here. Sometimes what will happen for me is I'll turn 90 degrees and it'll be obvious that the signal is pretty big, pretty long, and if I take a couple more steps and it's still there, and I think, oh, yeah, that's not something I should be trying to unearth here. This is a 43. It's kind of a pot metal. Not sure exactly what that was, but it's nothing neat. But I can already tell this yard didn't have a ton of traffic. Maybe some, but I'm not picking up a whole lot of trash or coins. This is another uglish kind of signal here, so I suspect it's more of that, whatever that little piece of pot metal was. Just a piece of aluminum foil. All right. Nothing for the keeper bag yet, but can see, this is just such a beautiful old neighborhood to be hunting in. I feel quite privileged that folks will that's right where I got that other. This is just more aluminum foil, I'm afraid, and I'm starting to get some EMI chatter in my ears, so hopefully it won't be a situation where I need to. Yeah, it sounds ugly, guys. Hopefully it won't. There we go. For our friend a pull tab. Hopefully it won't be a situation where having to change frequencies or any of that stuff. But we're early on in the game yet. Yeah, definitely like to start on the either side of that front walk. Just seemed like it's, for most homes, that was the highest trafficked area. And boy, I find a lot of stuff on those sidewalks. But this one, I'm getting this one all the way out to the street. Don't have a keeper yet. Just getting that constant low chatter in my headset, so maybe changing frequencies before too long here. This one's right by the sidewalk. Almost sounds like a surface signal. Let's see what we got. That is just a piece of Bazinga trash. Easy for you to say. Wake up the whole neighborhood here. Alright, so I'm gonna head down this terrace, see what I might be able to scare up here. You guys will be seeing in a future video 2 houses down. I got a permission there too, so you'll be seeing this neighborhood again. You can hear that driveway's got some rebar in it over there, different patches of it. Alright, I don't know what sort of cool thing we're going to find this morning. Pretty diggable signal. Sounds like it's probably a clad dime. Okay, it's almost acting like it might rain. Yeah, I see a coin there. That is not a dime, that's a penny. And it's a memorial. But first one's for the blue bag. Yay. Alright, let's fill that darn bag up, huh? Sounds like another penny right there. Something's off about it a little bit. It might be a penny, but that might be a dog tag or a key. That is a crusty old zinkin. Second one for the keeper bag, but I tell you, those zinkins, I mean, I just throw them out anyway. Can't take them to a bank. Well, you might be able to, I suppose, in that kind of condition, but I just throw them away with the rest of the stuff. Rest of the so-called trash. Well, that is one trip around this side of the yard, this side of the sidewalk in the yard, and it's not a whole lot. It sounds like a surface penny or a dime, something quite shallow. Okay, disappearing target trick, right? My pinpointer works a lot better when I turn it on. A lot better. Clyde dime. One clad dime. Sounds like another surface coin there. Something right on the surface, it's a penny. That's no penny, and that's no treasure. Now, one thing I forgot to do is fill up my water bottle. I didn't tell you guys about that too much, but I suppose I'll tell you all the things that I carry in my bag. Starting with a we got several. It's all there, kind of in that same. I think it's another piece of that junk that I just pulled out, but. Anyway, so in my bag, I've got the gray ghost bag. I really like that. I told you guys on multiple occasions that I carry the red bag and the blue bag with me all the time. That way I save the wear and tear. I love the mesh bottom in it, so the dirt just falls through it. But I was finding that mesh bottom was tearing out because of the nails or sharp objects or whatever, just kind of junk going in and out of there all the time. Yeah, guys, this is not what I'm looking for here. Anyway, so I carry those two and carry a water bottle. Fits in one pouch on one edge of it there, and we'll definitely want to stay hydrated. Yeah. Oh, we got a lot of junky signals here. Definitely want to stay hydrated, so I carry a water bottle with me, and I carry a thin one because it fits in that little end pouch so much better. So there's those two. I carry the high hose with me. Thinking about downsizing on that high hose too, because that bottle I carry around is relatively large, but anyway, I carry that in my bag. I got 2 different brushes that I carry. One of them's a little bit, none of them are steel, but one of them is a little bit stiffer than the other. The other one's just an old toothbrush. So anyway, got to carry those with me to that. Between the high hose and the brushes, that's as good a field cleaning as I'm gonna do. And what else do I carry back? I used to have to carry 9-volt batteries because I really like my Garrett pinpointer, because it really, I mean, it just, you know, it's, as a pinpointer, it really pinpoints targets, right? But I was just you didn't know when you were going to run out of battery, and even when you did, it felt like I was having to change it way too often. So one more trash. Lawnmower hit that darn thing and just shredded whatever that thing was. It's not aluminum. Anyway, so now that I've got the Accupoint recharge, I think, I'm telling you, I'm on, let's see here, I'm still on 2 bars on the Accupoint. There's 3 little slots on the battery indicator, and once I get down to 1 bar, I'm gonna recharge it, and I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna time it out to where you guys can see the date that I charged it. And my guess is it will last me, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months before. And you guys see how much I swing. I would bet that it lasts at least that long before it needs a recharge. And when I say needing a recharge, that's even a little bit of a explanation there, because the reality is that it'll work on 1 bar for a long time. So anyway, I'll charge it up, tell you guys exactly this date and time, and then we'll let it go until we get down to 1 bar again, and we'll see how long that takes. But man, I just not running across very good signals here, guys. There's something down there, but it's just big and ugly. You watch, it'll be a gold bracelet or something, but I'm just not. Such a beautiful home. Big and ugly. Such a beautiful home, but so far, so few nice targets. Goes right back to that deal where we like, for me, I'll salivate over a home and drive by it a half a dozen times before I see somebody outside and ask them about permission. Finally score the permission, and then well, it's just doesn't pan out nearly as well as I'd hoped. Got a long ways to go on this yard, but anyway, the other times I'll get a rehab or just some other permission that doesn't look nearly as appealing, but man, it ends up turning out to be just fantastic. So you just never know. That's why with the treasure hunt, you just got to go swing, man. You just got to go find out for yourself. Because looks can be a little bit deceiving. Our eyes just cannot see what's under that ground. All right, we're out in the middle of this front yard now. Let's run across something that just makes that legend sing. Well, there's a little more of a definitive signal there, but wouldn't surprise me if it was a bottle cap or something. It's not ringing up nice and true. It's because it's a piece of junk. That's what the legend was telling me. It wasn't anything real nice. And this is one where, well, not finding much of anything. A few clad coins, but very few. I don't know that I'd say this one's been done before. It might have been. It might have been, but not sure what to say there. Other than I'm not finding too many really good targets. Ran over a fair bit of junk like this one. I'll just turn that thing and just keep getting different tones. It might be a penny. Might be something else. Let's just take a look. That ground is so easy to swing on. So easy to dig. Crusty old, nope. That is something different, guys. I don't know what we have here, but that's been in the ground a long time. Given the weight of it, I would say there's a good chance that's a tax token or something along those lines. But it's not a Missouri tax token. They weren't made like that. So let's just get our high hose out and take a look. This might be one of the first fun keepers of the day here. Yeah, look at that, guys. Look at that. Something. This token awarded. I think it's going to say something about tax, probably. I have to get my eyeballs on here and see if I can read it very well. And of course, they're in the truck, right? So, says something, this token awarded, and I think there's an R in the center of it. So anyway, that is quite cool. It's something old, and I'm gonna clean it up and show you guys, but I don't know exactly what it is right now. One for the keeper bag finally. Yay for the home team. So, Legend's doing what it's supposed to. There just hasn't been that many targets to swing over. But we will clean that up, and you will definitely see that on a Monday Digs video. Cleaned up, photographed, and Hi-Ho Silver bragging about his token that he found. And I could go right up next to that tree, but these decorative areas just don't have a high degree of comfort. You know, people are so kind to allow me to just to be at their home and looking for stuff. That's probably a pulled tab, but anyway, they're so nice about that. I just don't want to, unless they've said specifically, oh yeah, get around those bushes, or I lost something over there, or whatever. Unless it's this thing like that. Yep, there's our friend, a pull tab. That actually brings to mind something else too. No matter where you hunt, no matter how you're doing this thing, it's the right way for you, and that's fantastic. I don't dig as nearly as many pull tabs as other folks because the permissions that I do primarily, there just hasn't been that much traffic in the yards that is going to litter like that. And you know, parks are fine. Matter of fact, man, the reality, you can find a lot of stuff at parks. I mean, a bunch. But I am not crazy about just digging up can slaw after can slaw after can slaw after pull tab after pull tab after pull tab after bottle cap after bottle cap, candy wrappers, so many of those little inserts for drinks that we get and that kind of thing have a little foil top on them, a little foil insert there. The little, you know, Taco Bell or the little ketchup packets and that kind of stuff, mayonnaise and mustard, they all ring up on the it sounds a little bit different. Doesn't sound as much like a coin as it does just a good round target. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we've got. Oh, there it is, just another rose tag. I was telling you about those before. I find quite a few of them, but I need to remember to be thoughtful about uncovering my stuff. I think I threw that tax token or that coin in my trash bag, not my treasure bag, so I have to take a good thoughtful look at that. Yep, got a nice big backyard to do too, and this is actually a nice big front yard. There just aren't a whole ton of targets so far. It's nice too, this time of year the grass hasn't started growing back in very much, and there is whatever little bit of digging I'm doing in the dirt here just doesn't matter much at all. It's that pipe I was telling you about. All right, cut off that side there. Boy, that's like a hitting zone right there between the front door and the driveway. And houses are, you know, each house is different. In some cases, people will use the side door or the back door. It sounds like it might be a coin. But in general, that front door sidewalk, front door entry and exit to the house that goes to the driveway side can be quite lucrative. Bazinga, no, excuse me, not bazinga, zinkin. Zinkin. Stinkin' zinkin'. Got a pull tabish kind of sound to it. Yeah, just a piece of piece of foil, square piece of aluminum, guttering or siding or something. Oh, come to Papa. That sounds suspiciously like that last target. Junk piece of aluminum foil. Where are you, sweetheart? Good old disappearing target trick. Man, never got it out of the hole. There's a root right there. My shovel just slid down the side of it. Piece of junk. Piece of aluminum junk. Still getting that little low-grade chatter in my headset. So it's just enough stuff either under the ground or over the ground here. And I don't see a bunch of lines overhead, so that little fastener of some variety there. Yeah, beautiful property here. Wouldn't surprise me if it's either been done or it's just plain clean. Washer. Certainly have a lot more in the trash bag than I do the treasure bag. I'm really encouraged to know that there's a substantial portion of you guys that like these long form videos, because while I love the Monday Digs videos, I mean, I really do just love them, but at least the way I do them, it's not a real accurate representation of exactly what happens for metal detecting or treasure hunting, because, you know, just finding one piece of silver after another toy car after another, and these long form videos will give you a lot clearer idea of exactly what it's like. At least it's what it's like for me. Other guys hunt in a much other folks hunt in a much different way than I do. I don't like this signal much, but stinking sinking. Stinking sinking eye. These little side hill terraces here can get a little tricky to walk. You start getting close to the sidewalk or even on the curb strip, you're likely to run into more trashy kinds of signals. That's the one there. It's big enough. It almost sounds like it's going to be a water line. But when those signals are in the mid 40s and they're big and overload like that, right along the sidewalk or the curb strip, I'm not saying I shouldn't ever dig them, but it's just too often where it's a part of the water system for the house or the water pipes or something. Possibly even something like an aluminum can, but just kinds of things that we're after just do not ring up like that. Ooh, that sure sounds like a pull tab. How about if you just be a gold ring instead of a pull tab? Yep, up high in the grass like that. No, that's not a pull tab. It's just an aluminum shard. See how pointy that thing is, man? That'd stick you. I'm a glove wearing guy. So when I told you what was in my bag, the other stuff that I do religiously is some parts of what I wear. I really like the kind of a boot slash sneaker, heavier duty than a tennis shoe, but not quite as sturdy as a whole boot. Because you guys see the way I use my shovel, I kind of punch at it with my foot, so I want a little support on my foot, but I actually do more walking around than I do using the shovel, so I want comfort for the shoe itself. I think these are Skechers, I believe. I think I've had them for a year and a half or so. Run through the laces on one of them, so it won't be long before I end up having to replace these. Probably sometime this summer I'll get myself a new pair of boots or shoes. I wear gloves all the time. These just happen to be in a large pack that I bought, but the Gorilla gloves, the Milwaukee gloves, those kinds of things, they give you a high degree of I'm gonna say ambulation, but that's not right, dexterity with your hands, but also give you some protection from whatever you might run into, glass or sharp metals or those kinds of things. So I made it into the backyard now, and you can see it's a beautiful backyard. Looks like it's L-shaped, and a fair bit of stuff to swing over here, but we'll see if it's as barren as the front yard was. Let's see here, what else? As far as my camera goes, I switched over to that DJI, and I like it quite a bit. It's different than the GoPro. I don't think the picture is quite as vibrant, if you will. Right out of the box, I've had to learn a little bit more about video editing and those kinds of things to make it appear more the way I like it, not quite as washed out. So, and it's just not a very good signal. I use the shoulder mount, or excuse me, the chest mount. I have it strapped onto a harness, goes over my head and shoulders, and that's how I do it. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do it, but a lot of guys use that hat mount, head mount. I've tried it a couple times, and I just prefer the chest mount. hey, we're getting closer, guys. That is what is left. That is what is left of an old lead toy soldier. So that's pretty cool. It's a good sign, actually, but not much of it left. I hope we can do better than that. But maybe there's a whole one in the yard here. Who knows? Who knows? So I do use that. Do use the chest strap. Got the. A lot of guys use their phone, and I'm not even saying it's wrong, but the phones are just so amazing. They're not even really phones anymore. They're just more like multifunctional computing, information, and communication devices. And one of the things they'll do is actually make a phone call. But I'm just not comfortable with that. I didn't learn how to do things that way. And it's actually not a bad signal. I'm going to be very careful with this one because it's just in that decorative area. I don't want to damage anything. But I just never used to learn to use my phone. And for whatever reason, when I decided that I was going to pursue this thing with the videos, that I was just going to, I need to get a GoPro. And believe me, that's an uninformed opinion. So it's an uninformed opinion that actually served me quite well. Yeah, whatever that was, I feel like I got it out of the hole. Look at this, guys. That thing is tiny. I'm telling you, the legend just sniffs that stuff out. Look at this thing, guys. I don't even know what the heck it is. If it's got any writing on it or anything, I will let you know what it is. But that thing is tiny. Did you hear that signal that was given off? Man. Oh, maybe there's something else. That's it. That's what we're talking about. That is an old penny. I was going to say, that little tiny thing just couldn't have been. Now, this is another one I was talking about before, guys, where this is a memorial penny. But look at the green patina on that. So, we're getting into that space in time, if you will. I feel like 5 years ago, I did not get any memorial pennies that had any sort of a patina on them. And now I'd say probably 5% of the memorials I get have that shiny green patina. And I'm sure it's just how it lands in the ground and how you whatever conditions it was laying in there. But anyway, what was I talking about here? So we've got that GoPro camera with the chest mount. I like that a lot. Really do like that shovel that I use. But as far as my own, there's our friend the pull tab. And doing these yards, guys, I get way more of the beaver tail pull tabs than I do the more modern ones. Let's see what else. So I know when I'm leaving my house, I have a 6-item mental checklist. And those 6 items are my footwear is one of them, my knee pads and gloves, that's another one. It's just one item, I keep them together. Knee pads and gloves. Detector and headphones, that's 3. Shovel is 4. My finds bag, and it's just a lot of junk back here, guys. I don't think I'm gonna spend much time back here. My finds bag, so I think that was 5 or 6, right? My camera, which is another one. Probably missing something. I don't know if that was 6 or not, but the dorky way I do it is I count to 6 before I leave each time, and I got to make sure that every one of them has something assigned to it. And in that way, I rarely get to a site without something where I'm missing something. Now, I've had them break down before, and I probably could do a better job of having a backup situation. I do have my other Legend in the back of the truck. I do have another Pinpointer in the truck, but another Accupoint also. But anyway, that's kind of the way I roll out of the driveway to go to my honey holes. And I do call them my honey holes because, guys, that's a really big signal, and it's 52, so that's often a silver dime, but this one is so loud and almost an overload that I bet it's either a toy car or a piece of trash. Back here it might be a piece of nope. I was going to say it might be a piece of ornamental something, but that is just trash. Toy car or trash means trash in this case. Well, it's probably low 50s by now. This is the first I remember of any sun coming out for today, so that's nice. Here comes the sun. Man, just more junk, guys. More aluminum junk. And these the owners aren't home. They told me to come on by anytime, but I just don't see them, so I'll leave them a little thank you note and I'll describe a little bit about what I found, which in this case is going to be pretty short unless things change a little bit. But anyway, I'll leave them a note, say thank you, and my goal is for them to be quite surprised that there was anyone here, because I don't want them to even be able to tell I was in the yard at all. And most of the time I think I'm pretty successful at that part. Old piece of coax cable or a little dongle or something there. Oh, come on. How about a cool old relic? We got that one. I don't know if it's a tax token or so we got one thing in the bag. Still got one. Cooperate much there. So I'll go around the whole edge of this outside here, and I'll start cutting into it like I'm trying to mow the lawn. It sounds a little bit different. Sounds more diggable and like it could be a coin. This house has been here a long time. Yep, there's a coin right there. And that is a clad dime. Yeah, it's a beautiful 1929 permission. But maybe I'm just not the first person that's come along here trying to find something. Maybe. more trash. Pull tab. Beaver tail. One thing I will mention that I used to do, and I feel like it was a mistake, but you guys see how many holes I dig, and primarily I'm in yards where people at least either live there or take care of it to some variety, you know, that kind of thing. And so I really am not wanting to leave many tracks. So I say it that way because one thing I used to do on a regular basis was I would try to get any dirt that I had, I would try to get it all right back down into that hole. And I'd have a little towel with me and put it on the side there and all that. Again, I'm not trying to say that's the wrong way to do it. It's just what happened for me was I morphed into a way of hunting, or digging, I should say, in a way where I wouldn't make much of a mess at all. And what I'm trying to do is make no trace of the hole or the yard ever being disturbed. And many times when you dig the dirt out of a hole, now it's bigger and much less compact than it used to be, and it doesn't necessarily always want to all fit right back down in the hole very well. And by insisting that I kind of do it that way, it gave me some troubles. Yeah, I don't have much faith in this signal, guys. So anyway, what I started doing was concentrating more on making my tracks invisible and less about putting everything back in the hole. So what you guys see me do on a regular basis is whatever dirt that I don't get right back down into the hole, kind of on purpose, I'll just brush it to the side and let it fold in with the rest of the grass. Oh, that's not it. That's it. It's an old nut top there. Threaded brass top for a copper line. So I think it, number one, helps me do it faster, and number two, I think it actually helps me make it look better and less like I've actually put a hole in the ground. And believe me, whatever little dirt is unless that yard is quite pristine, and whatever little dirt I'm brushing to the side just fits right in with all the rest of the stuff that's already in the yard. So anyway, just a tip and a thing that I've developed as I've gone along, and just because I do does not make it right, but it is the way I do it. Oh, I just had so many of these just ugly signals. Maybe one of them will be that whole figurine instead of just a little piece. That's not a whole figurine. That is, I would say that's a gutter spike, but it's definitely a long nail. Definitely. Another thing I do, and that was another good example of it, and Again, just because I do it does not make it right. But if I dig a clean plug like that one was, as I'm using my pinpointer to find the target, I'm really not just using my pinpointer to locate it. I'm actually using my pinpointer as a tool to help remove portions of the plug so I can get to what I'm looking for. Anyway, so when I do that, when I use the pinpointer to actually manipulate the plug, I do it right over the hole. So whatever I'm on about, it just falls right back down into the hole. I'm not making a mess around the edge that I'm having to clean up. So again, everybody's got their own way of doing it. Some of those things I just developed myself over time. Some things I really learned from watching other detectorists. One of the things early on in the game is I watched Paystreak a lot. And if you haven't seen his channel, there's not very many thrills on there, or not much fancy stuff on there. But man, does he dig a lot of holes. A bunch, right? So he's got some techniques there for recoveries that are actually quite helpful. Plus, when I first got interested in this, he was using a Simplex, and that was the machine I had just purchased from High Plains. Oh boy, another disappearing target trick. So here we go, guys. Pretty sure my target is in the hole, might be on the grass, but as I go through this thing and try to find it, I'm gonna let all that stuff just fall right into the man. There's another one just tiny. Just a tiny little bazinga. I'll just let that stuff fall right into the hole that I've already made, and that way I'm not needing to put it onto a towel or drop it back into the deal. And I just feel like it's one of the most efficient ways I can possibly do it. Now, Paystreak's dirt, his soil conditions are quite a bit different than these. And boy, you watch him do those plugs like that one there, and it might be a kind of a muddy mess that he's actually got there. And we got a little something here. It's not reading up real pure, but it's a target for sure. Still in the hole. What have we here? Oh, here we go, guys. This is something else that's cool. Oh, check that out. That is a token, guys. Look at this, man. I haven't been able to find much of much, and it looks to me like I found two different tokens. This one says 25 cents, and let's take a good look at it. Of course, I don't have my glasses, so I was telling you guys about all the stuff I make sure to bring, right? And I usually just keep my readers on me all the time, but anyway, hope you guys can see that. That's about the size of the quarter, but it's not. It's a very light. Yeah, there's a lot of writing on that one. And this side says, it's got a big 25 cents on there. That's it. Oh yeah, it says play 25 value, and I just can't make out the arcade or whatever that it's from. I thought this was going to be a really old one, guys, but I don't think so. I think this is more along the lines of a game token. Just can't quite see what it's from. So again, I promise to clean that up, put it on a Monday Digs video, and you guys will see that up close and personal. That's cool. Yeah, at least we got a couple of keepers out of this yard besides just the clad. Yeah, let's see if maybe there might be something shiny in the way there too. That would be very cool. Just got one more swath down this side of the... Boy, that's ugly. One more swath down this side of the backyard, and then I got one other area in that backyard to do. Buzzinga. So again, we'll just try to get everything relatively situated so that it's, you know, basically undetectable that I was in the earth there. Tamp that down. I should swing over it first, but now I can just brush this other bits aside, and just would never even be able to tell somebody was here. That's just the way I like it. Just the way we like it. Don't have any faith here, guys. Oh yeah, it's because it's a little ornamental deal there. Just describing somebody's flower or something. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't sound right either, guys, but yeah, I'm right on that rock, that decorative rock, so that is just gonna stay where it is. All right. We're gonna close off a few of the odd shaped ends here with this edge of things, and then make our last few passes across this backyard. We'll have the curb strip left to do. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but just on that threshold. EMI is a low enough chatter that I'm not going to change frequencies, but It's funny how in different parts of the yard it definitely shows up differently. So there's some stuff happening underground here for sure. Got some power lines overhead too. Yep, it's just one more piece of junk, guys. And prove me wrong. Buzzinga. Man, that ground is so nice to dig in. Just awesome. Couldn't be any softer or more receptive to a shovel. It's very receptive to my detector actually, but overhead power lines are giving me some chatter. I'm just interested. Haven't had an issue with that on these hole hunts before, so I'm interested to go back and listen to the footage and there you go, guys. Big ugly signal. When I was back as a younger man, I was played a lot of golf, and they would call me long and wrong because I could really drive the ball, but we never knew where it was going to go. And so many of these big signals here remind me of that. They're big signals, and you got to go check them out. But they are usually wrong as far as what we're after. Usually, not always. Long and wrong right there. Big and ugly. One for the recycle bin. One for the red top. Long and wrong. How about we just swing over one of those real cherry kind of signals? 52, 54, 55. Every way you swing over it with that nice legend lullaby kind of tone, that would not bother me a bit. All right, guys, I'll wrap it up for this portion, this backyard, and then we'll head out there to the curb strip along the street, and then call this another successful hunt. Success is a relative term. Didn't find nearly as much at this particular property as I thought I might, but it's a beautiful house, and my measuring stick is I have fun if I get to get out and go hunting and trying to find something, and the finds and the people and the interactions and the rest of that stuff, that's all just icing on the cake. Well, those are just ugly signals, man. We have really had a lack of beautiful tones here today. Seems like everything I swung over just as ugly as can be. Wouldn't surprise me if this is part of a water pipe, or it might be an old that is a bazinga for sure. I'd say that's an old doorstop, but that's not even it. Finial, maybe? I don't know. That one's interesting enough. I think I might just put that one in the keeper bag and clean it up and see what it looks like, or if there's any markings on it at all. That's a heavy brass though. Solid brass. And that curb strip is just wide enough for me to swing all the way across. Chitter chatter, chitter chatter. Long and wrong. Long and wrong. Oh, come to Papa. Sounded quite bottle capish. Well, I remember I was telling you I want to go over. That's an overload for sure. That's probably a water main or something here, but that was a big one. Long and wrong, but I'm gonna check it out anyway. Long and wrong. I don't have a lot of faith for this one here either, guys, but we're getting perilously close to the end of our hunt here. Perilously close. Wouldn't it be cool to find somebody's ring they dropped? Buzzing. Somebody's ring they dropped 100 years ago. All right, guys, we are going to call that a wrap. And fun morning. Appreciate you guys coming with me, checking out another hole hunt video from Hi-Ho Silver. I'm going to leave our the homeowner note thanking them for being gracious hosts, and we'll get things cleaned up, and we'll see you on the next hunt or on Monday nights for Hi-Ho Live, 5 p.m. Central. Hope to see you there. Happy hunting. Big love from Kansas City. Peace out.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate you. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications. All the cool kids are doing it. And be sure to watch Monday Digs and Hi-Ho Live. Hi-Ho Live comes on 5 p.m. Central every Monday. And we give away silver on every episode. As a matter of fact, practically every episode, we give away multiple silvers. It's easy to do. It's easy to win. See you there.